push 50 points off the track, baby.
In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. Through city streets and temples high, find your story beneath the sky. Waves crash, pumping our sense, harmony flows to the best of lands. In the neon glow, where is bent, the culture rich, where is sense, in the morn of grace. Dance the night with every star, a guiding light. In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. The cherry lanes and
Well, I just
soaring
got myself
heights,
in a
find your
valve already.
magic near the moonlit nights.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we've got some thing to share with you. We got a couple of things. First off, we have a issue, a major issue. Okay, we have first an issue relating to. We're gonna get into like free speech today. I was gonna call it free speech, but then I was like, no. I just call it. I might change the title to a couple of these, but the only one that's not gonna get changed is TikTok. But because I am somebody we've got a thing that I'm changing the title here, and there's a reason. And the reason why I'm changing it is because there's a thing where we're gonna get into talking about freedom of speech. And look, I'm somebody that you have the right to speak your mind. You have the right to say things that you want. Okay. Now, you may look at my channel and say you don't have free speech because we have some rules, some major rules set in ground for. But we have a couple of things here. We know now for a lot of you, we have an update there. As you guys can see, there's a 1.55, but there is also a most recent update. Now, if we look at the update, we also have some news that we need to share with you. For those of you who are watching for Pro Mods, we do use Pro Mods. I use Pro Mods as a daily driver. I use everything in Pro Mods except for these two: the cabin accessories pack, and the trailers and companies pack. Um, I could probably use that, the cabin accessories pack, but I don't. Um, we have Pro Mods. Is SCS has released the game version for 1.56. They have released the game version for both games. But we are in Pro Mods. Primarily, we are going to wait on development of Pro Mods for us to be able to get into the latest into 1.56. Now, in 1.56, there are a few things that do change a little bit. I don't understand why they would put 1.56 when there's a small little change. They could have just done 1.55 point whatever. But all of these right here are slowly coming into things for it. So we are not there yet. There's also an update for um um there's also an update coming out for Perkitech. Perkitech just got an update, new DLC for it. Of course, it's a game that's been around for quite a little while, hasn't seen an update for it, and they just got in. It's mostly a decorative thing for it, but that's about it. But then we also got some of that thing, the Perkitech thing. I will probably maybe take a look at later. I was thinking about taking a look at it today, but I decided I am not taking a look at it. For it. So we just got a lot of things to figure out and stuff. So we've got a lot of things going on. There's gonna be a little bit of an update for Canada as well. So we've got in the last update, Canada did not get any changes. I'm pretty sure this update, Pro Mods Canada's gonna get some changes. For it all. Before we go anywhere, let's see what we got price per distance. We'll go with this. Price per distance, this is gonna be electronics going to Lemisol. Might be our best option for a lot of things. But that one's gonna give me a little bit, that one's gonna give me more money. Let's take that. Let's go there. Let's go to Italy. But there's this one thing that I wanted to really say with you guys. Like, your freedom of speech is being eroded right now. If you think that you are in the United States, you think that you have the right to speak your mind, you have that right until somebody says you don't. And just by me surely by me saying things here on this YouTube, I am in that crosshair with a lot of the issues going on. I am in that crosshair with the Trump administration for what I say. And everybody is in that crosshair with it. Everybody is in the crosshairs with this thing because a thing that I wanted to really come in, and there was a couple of things that, yesterday night, I talked about this last night, and it got really, it got really heated last night with Glass, and I really hate when people come out and they are people that I cannot stand people like Glass when he starts going off on things. But that's the thing is when I was talking about the freedom of speech. I was talking about the freedom of what happened with Jimmy Kimmel. Glass said, "Oh, it's okay that Jimmy Kimmel's gone. It's okay." No, it's not. I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel. I don't sit and watch Jimmy Fallon. I don't sit and watch these late night talk show hosts. I do watch occasionally. I'll watch something from Stephen Colbert, but that's it. And what is happening is they're trying to get rid of your freedom to speak your mind. They're trying to get rid of your, like, if you say something bad about me, you know, you're pretty much basically, they don't like it and they want it shut down completely. Now, of course, if you're somebody who is in this channel, or who follows me or watches me, knows that I will let you speak your mind as long as it's not hate against the LGBTQ community, as long as it's that. But guess what? I'm not going after somebody else's channel for getting rid of their free speech. I'm not going after people to remove their freedom to speak their mind. Unless it comes down to, you're gonna come in, there have been points where, you know, I'm like Barnacules, where you have the right to speak your mind as long as, you know, you can do it on your own time. Do it outside of my streams. You know, but that's the only time. I don't care that you can have your right to speak and right to make your own decisions. But getting rid of somebody because they don't align with my belief, and then going out and canceling. It's not right. And that's a problem that I have with anything. Like, you don't like something, don't watch that content. You have every right to not watch that content. And last I checked, when Donald Trump basically talked about Jimmy Kimmel, basically saying that he's worse than Stephen Colbert, even if that's possible. That is possible. Stephen Colbert actually was receiving 2.6 million people watching during his late night shows. But a lot of these people, when you look at things at night, when you look at things live, they're not really, not everybody's going to be able to. Most of the East Coast people, or a lot of people, are probably going to bed before they ever get on. Sometimes they're on at like 12 o'clock at night. They're on at 12 o'clock at night, East Coast time, 11 o'clock here. Over on probably the West Coast, it's probably a little bit different. But when you look at things, it's like a lot of people are sitting there watching the content on all this, not sitting there watching these things. And, you know, I'm gonna be somebody that, you know, that I won't sit and watch ABC anymore. I won't sit and watch content from Disney because of this. Until Disney can rectify and get Jimmy Kimmel back on the air without any interruptions, without any sending to Charlie Kirk because of a mistake that he said that wasn't even going saying Charlie Kirk was a bad person. It wasn't him saying that he's saying that he was a bad person, but he didn't go after him because he was dead. He didn't say that, didn't say that he liked that he was dead. No, I'm somebody that doesn't. But at the same time, Donald Trump had his self-ego when somebody asked about Charlie Kirk, and he didn't even say that, didn't even praise Charlie Kirk at that point. He basically just went and complained about his ballroom. Every chance that Trump gets, Donald Trump, pretty much every chance he gets, he finds ways to talk about himself. They're going after anybody that speaks ill of the government. They're wanting to hurt people because they don't agree with the issues. They don't agree with people. If you don't like something, then just don't talk to them. Get away from it. It's like your freedom of speech is no longer freedom. Freedom to speak your mind. Freedom to speak the way you want people to speak. I am sick and I am tired. It even stresses me out having to speak about this. Because of these idiots, these idiots don't get freedom of speech. These idiots don't get that hate speech is free speech. They don't get it. They would rather get rid of anybody who speaks ill of the government. They would rather get rid of anybody to basically say that, oh, well, you know what, we don't like what you say, so you're gone. We don't like what you say, so you're gone. You will praise us, and we praise us for what we do, and you sit there and you take it like a wimp. You sit there and you take it like you suck on somebody's dick. You take it. You take, and you listen to what we have to say or not at all. And if you don't like what we have to say, you're gone. That's what they care about. That's what they want to take away from us. They want to take us away from the things that we want to speak our own minds. The freedom of speech is gone. In America. The freedom of speech that I guarantee you, if Kamala Harris did the same thing today, they'd be crying, whimping, and complaining about this. And yet, when Trump does the same thing, they don't care. They don't care. They literally don't care. If it benefits me, I'm gonna do it. I mean, that's a problem. That's a problem with our freedom of speech. You may not like the things that I say because you may not like what I have to say. You may not agree with what I have to say, but I'm gonna stand here and listen to people who are going against Donald Trump. You know what? I'd start watching Jimmy Kimmel more often if they started becoming part of the Midas Touch network. If Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert and all these people, they're wanting to get rid of NBC. They don't like NBC. Like they have something going against NBC right now because Donald Trump basically is going after Jimmy Fallon now and Seth Meyers. They're going after both of them. There was a person who got fired at an MSNBC for going against Charlie Kirk. These people don't really like. I'm for free speech. Okay, I am somebody that will make sure that we have the freedom of speech as long as you know, if you don't like it, if I'm on a platform and you don't like it, don't watch my content. You don't like me censoring your speech, you don't have to. I'm not going out there to go and censor your speech on your channel, forcing you to give up your channel because because your speech is going against my speech. Because I don't like what you say. I'm not going out there to get rid of your channel because you take ill against me for being for not being a Trump supporter. It speak ill. Like I literally wanted to, when I'm at work, I don't want to, like, I had somebody at work not recently but a while ago that I basically asked that we do not talk politics, but that's all she wanted to talk about. That's all that this person wanted to talk about in general, and I was sick and tired of it. I didn't want to listen to her talk politics at work. I wanted to get away from that, not talk about it, not talk about it. I asked her to specifically, let's just not talk about it at work. Let's just not talk about it. And yet she went and complained and continued to talk about it because she wanted to push it. These people want to push these things, these MAGA people want to push their agenda on people, want to push it so that, you know, that's all they want to push. It's all they want to do. But when I go and say, oh, I want people to push to support my pronouns, or support a small thing for a small little piece of thing that it is not pushing it on you. I'm not forcing you to change your gender. I'm not forcing you to go and believe that way. I'm not going to change your gender just to change your gender. No, you people need to have the right to do whatever they want. You know, I'm not going to sit out there and force you to believe in it, forcing you to change your gender or change your way of life. All I'm asking is just a small little bit to basically just make sure that you come to me, and when you come to me that you support my pronouns, you support who I am. And I'm not saying that to go and force you to change your gender. You go and be whoever you want to be. I'm not going to tell you you can't be gay. I'm not going to tell you can't be non-binary. I'm not going to go and tell you to change from a male to a female. I'm not gonna, like, this is one of those things where I absolutely get angry at people. Like that. Where I get absolutely angry when I hear people say that, oh, you should be canceled because you speak ill of Donald Trump. You should be gone because you speak ill of Charlie Kirk. They want you to reminisce and go out and follow him, and it's like, no. They want you to revolutionize in wanting to believe and follow Charlie Kirk. They want you to basically follow and believe the way he does. Like, I am sorry, there's only 3 people that I will absolutely follow, and I will absolutely follow, but these people would hate me for it because they would want me to follow Donald Trump. I'm not going to sit there and follow Donald Trump. I'm going to sit there and follow God and follow Jesus Christ. I'm going to sit there and follow, and I'm not perfect at it, okay? I'll tell you, I need to be looking for a job, and I'm not looking for one. Okay? I should be sitting here looking for a job instead of sitting here live streaming because I need to find an actual job. But there's only 3 things that I follow. I follow God, I follow Jesus Christ, and I follow my prophet, Rosalind Nelson. Those are the only 3 people that I will absolutely put my life towards. I'm not going to sit here and put my life towards Charlie Kirk. I'm not going to sit here and put my life towards Trump. I'm not going to sit here and put my life towards somebody that absolutely wants me to. They want me to bow down to somebody. I'm not going to sit here and bow to a dictator. I'm not going to sit here and bow to somebody when they are eroding our freedoms, when they are following Satan. You know, I'm actually really I am somebody that stands with South Park when they decide to do things right. But I think they canceled their latest episode because of something's going to probably get them canceled because they don't. And it's like, you know what? You know what? Go for it. Do it. Get yourself canceled. Set things right. Go out and say the things that you want to say instead of and tell people that, hey, we don't care. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight to the death. You know, they want to get rid of your way of life, way of thinking. They want to take away your entertainment. Nintendo wanted to take away, like they recently patented a thing this week that literally patent 2 things that were literally taking away from creativity and stifling the creativity because they were so butthurt about Palworld. Because they're so butthurt. Because Palworld's outbeaten Pokemon. And Pokemon, and I'll be honest, I don't like either one of them. Well, I like Pokemon over Palworld, but the whole point of the matter is that they're doing a lot better than Palworld did a lot better than Pokemon. And they were making more money than Pokemon because they did what? They outclassed Pokemon, they outclassed somebody. Did you know that Battlefield 6 Battle Royale could outclass Warzone? Is it my right to go after somebody because I'm losing money? Because I'm losing money on a principle that we couldn't fix it, we can't make things. That's the whole point. Is like they don't care about. Actually, we are right here. And I had some issues with all of this. It's like they didn't really think this one through. Nintendo was kind of like they want to go after something because they lost money. And because they're losing money and they don't want to lose money, they're so ultra ego. Uh uh we're losing money. We're hemorrhaging money because we lost on a stupid game of Power World. That's another game that they outclassed them. It's like, they don't care. They don't get this. They don't seem to really get behind any of this. You know? You know? They don't seem to really think things through because they are so greedy. Nintendo, I feel like, has gotten more greedy lately. I feel like some of these game companies are getting more greedy. And I have just... This is making me getting a headache just from talking about it. Because this is all so... ridiculous on all of nonsense. It's like... It's like, I'm somebody that, if you, like, I guarantee you, if Final Fantasy decided to patent the turn-based action RPG, turn-based system, and target, and basically patent it, guess what, did you know that, Terra Obscura wouldn't be able to be made, we wouldn't have had Legend of Dragoon. Well, actually, Legend of Dragoon we probably would have had because there was help from Square Enix. But we wouldn't have RPG Maker. We wouldn't have these engines out there making these games because Square was basically being a dick about it. You know, the only other time that a game has been a dick was the only other game that has ever been a dick was them patenting the arrow above your screen that you could see to tell where you're going. Sega patented that. Crazy Taxi is the only game that had it. And now that, you know, but that's a little bit too broad, but I understand that one. That one I understand a little bit more than the Nintendo thing. Because the way it's gotten way too broad. They wanted to go after Power World. Why don't they go after them? They can't. Because if Power World was not manufactured in the United States, they cannot really go after them. Just because Nintendo has a patent, they only have a patent here in the United States. That patent only exists in the US. It does not exist if Power World, and I don't even think Power World was manufactured here in the United States. I think Power World was manufactured in other countries, so they can't go after them because they don't have a patent in that country. Because I'm basically like in my country, basically, in order for a patent to be legal, you know, in order for a patent to be legal in my country, you'd have to, in order for a patent to exist, you have to, first, the patent has to be established in my country in order to actually exist, to actually have legal ground. If the patent is in the US and it is overly broad, you just have to submit your patent into my country in order to make it legal. And in order for it to be legal, on things, but you know, there's a lot of things that I question. Okay. Hold on, guys. We're gonna hit Shift Tab, and then we're gonna come down over here to Controller Settings, edit the layout. We're going to accept, cancel, context 2, context button 1. Going back, gotta situate that. We are also got American truck. I have decided to come into Euro truck instead today. Even though, because I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna hop into Euro truck. I'm gonna just run in things. Once Pro Mods gets that update, guys, we will be able to get in a lot of things. And there's a lot of things in this game that, I mean, not just in this game, but there's a lot of things where it's not just this game, it's just everything is just being really bad. There's a lot of Nintendo's kind of like, right now it's worse. And for any of you who haven't seen it, like I wasn't somebody that, I saw a few things that Nintendo was patenting a couple of things that, and I did kind of hear things and I just didn't pay attention. I was like, okay, whatever. But then I come in and I was looking for a couple of things to talk about today, and I was like, you know what, I want to make sure that I put that in today and talk about it. And both patents are really, really bad. They're one of those things where they were overly broad and there needs to be a lawsuit going on against it. I don't know how that's going to work. If there can ever be one, I think it's very, very difficult on it. But that's pretty much the thing that's really bad with Nintendo. I'm like, you know, I'm okay with you having free speech, like I said, like the free speech thing. Like everything, like if Nintendo wants to ban your free speech because they don't like what you say about something, that's their platform, that's their right, they have every right to do so. The free speech goes the same way. If Facebook does not want to hear your free speech, they have every right to take away your freedom of speech. If YouTube does not like what you have to say, the YouTube has every right. Trovo, TikTok, all these platforms have those dedicated rights to getting rid of your speech. But government cannot mandate for you to get rid of your free speech. Okay? You cannot get rid of those freedoms of speech on any of these issues. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a gun-loving person. Okay? I don't mind that it doesn't matter that you're a gun-loving person or somebody that loves guns, but like if an establishment says you can't carry a gun in here, then you have a right to still have your gun. It just means that this establishment says you can't carry a gun unless you're a police officer. Then you can't carry a gun. That's their right. If somebody at a restaurant says you cannot wear that red hat, the MAGA red hat in my establishment, you can get out. Because that's their right. They have their right. If somebody says no shoot, no shirt, no service, no shoes, no shirt, no service, they have every right. If a establishment says no smoking, you don't smoke. You find another place to go and do it. You can smoke as long as you're following the law. But the freedom of speech thing is the law of the United States. And that freedom means that if I want to speak my mind, I can speak my mind as long as that freedom of speech is not being controlled by the government. I can speak my mind any way I want to. If I want to talk ill about Donald Trump on something, I will. Because I'm not going to go sit out there and get rid of things. There was this lady that I want you guys to really listen to this, and then we'll talk about it. Give me quite a second here. I want you to hear this. This is something that really does absolutely grind my gears on this. So give me a second here. I need to find my desktop audio. Thank you. Alright. I'm gonna mute myself though, guys.
Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott was celebrating on social media in response to a viral photograph showing a young black woman being hauled off the campus of Texas Tech University in handcuffs. So what did this young woman do? Was she vandalizing? Was she beating someone up? Had she committed a crime? And no. This young woman, young black woman, of course, her crime that caused her to be hauled away in handcuffs and expelled from school was that she was mocking the death of Charlie Kirk. In fact, she is reported to have said, "F y'all, ya homie dead." And for that, she was hauled away in handcuffs as if she were a murderer herself. And again, is no longer enrolled in the school is all we have. So I don't know if she left or if she was expelled, but I have to imagine this was probably an expulsion for her doing nothing more than exercising her right to freedom of speech. And the governor of Texas, along with Ted Cruz, celebrated this. You may not like what somebody has to say, but that does not mean that legally they can be punished for it. Obviously, the fire in a crowded theater thing, is the way the exception goes. But her mocking Charlie Kirk, her celebrating the death, what you think of her doing that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what the U.S. Constitution thinks of her doing that, and it says you can. That's it. That's the end of that conversation. We don't have to have a conversation about whether you agree with it or disagree with it, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. It's illegal to crack down on freedom of speech. That is the only point that matters. But Greg Abbott reposted the picture, by the way, on Twitter and said this: "This is what happened to the person who was mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination at Texas Tech. Fuck around, find out. Definitely picked the wrong school to taunt the death of Charlie Kirk." Again, you're boasting, you're celebrating losing our First Amendment freedoms. Aren't you the guy that, you got in a huff and all Republicans got in a huff because Jasmine Crockett recently called you Hot Wheels? And here you are mocking another person? Gee, weird, huh? Texas Tech University put out the following statement on Monday. Any behavior that denigrates victims of violence is reprehensible, has no place on our campus, and is not aligned with our values. Federal law prevents Texas Tech University from commenting on individual student conduct matters. We take all reported violations seriously and address them under university policy and the law. The university also confirmed to Cron on Monday that the student was no longer enrolled at the university. So again, not sure if she left voluntarily or if she was expelled, but pretty sick stuff. Ted Cruz, over the weekend, said this. I saw an image on Twitter of this one soulless young woman dancing and singing that Charlie Kirk had been shot in the neck. Made me physically sick at the joy of this murder. You called her a soulless young woman, right? Should we crack down on your free speech? You're mocking a woman who is also going through something now. You're mocking her pain, mocking her family's pain. The internet plastered a picture everywhere, basically put a target on her. Huh? Do we just not care? Like it's okay if y'all do it, it's not okay if we do it? Just want to make sure I'm clear on that. Folks, we are losing our freedoms. We are losing our rights. People are losing their jobs. I mean, hell, J.D. Vance came out Monday while guest hosting Charlie Kirk's podcast, right? Like the vice president of the United States is guest hosting a podcast like it's the most normal thing in the world for him to do. Said this, when you see someone celebrating Charlie's murder, call them out. And hell, call their employer. Freedom of speech is not a fireable offense, folks. I don't care what you say. I don't care who you say it about. Obviously, you can't say that you're going to do harm to another person, sure. But celebrating harm happening to someone else, whether it's on the left or right, doesn't matter if you like it. Doesn't matter if you condone it or condemn it. What matters is that it is protected. But we're losing our rights, we're losing our freedoms, we're losing our constitutional protections, we're losing our jobs. Trump announced we're going to investigate these people, said the investigations are actually already happening. We are losing everything. We are marching even faster now towards full-blown authoritarianism. Why? Because the president's favorite conservative influencer is no longer alive. That's seriously going to be the catalyst that drives us to a dictatorship in a matter of days? That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. But it's also happening right before our eyes. Thanks for watching, everyone. You know, we're inching closer and closer to 1 million.
Alright, I had to share that with you guys because that, like, you can be somebody that does not support somebody. You can be something that you don't like. You don't have to like something. Okay? You don't have to like what people say. And you get rid of somebody. I'm basically, like, if I was in the shoes, I would basically said, I would go up there and I said, I'm gonna fire Donald Trump. I would go up there and I said, you care about freedom of speech? Well, then you don't care about freedom of speech, then why don't I get rid of your speech? Why don't I put you in jail for going after the LGBTQ community and harming them and shaming them and putting hate speech against them? And getting rid of your speech. And start taking away your freedom to speak. Oh, you'd be angry. You're right now being angry. And you'd be angry at it because you're pretty much basically, you know, you look at the anger that I'm pretty sure that I would really go after. Did I? No, okay, yeah, so we got 2 hours. We got 2 hours till next checkpoint marked on our list, but that's actually... And it's like, you know, you'd know, you know, that you shouldn't be firing people just because they said something wrong. If somebody comes up and says that somebody said something wrong, and they go and it's basically they're now doxing people, that's like they're now going and willing to dox anybody for it. Let me be clear, I guarantee you that I don't have a job right now. This is why I don't want to go and get a job, because that way then I'm not being into trouble or getting into these things, because this is one of those things where you take away people's right and you take away their existence. And their existence is like you get rid of somebody because you don't like something. It's like I am sick and tired of it. It's like my mom can easily get fired for a job, but she won't, because her job is not an American company. She probably won't because she works with a German company. I literally, you know, and I'm gonna tell you, like, you can say that all you want, but guess what? I guarantee you that she wouldn't get fired for it because of the things that a lot of these people think. Okay. Okay, so then why? Yeah. Okay. Hug. Thanks Rika FPS for joining the TikTok live thing. Thank you. You know, You know, I am somebody that does not agree with getting rid of our freedom to speak our own minds. Like, I would go up there and I'd say, look, yeah, there are a lot of things I don't like. You know, there are a lot of things I don't like, but I'm not gonna go out and get rid of somebody's free speech to speak their own mind. Look, I didn't get rid of Glass last night. I let the bot deal with it, and Glass just switched over to TikTok. It's like I need to figure out some way to have some way to get TikTok and have some words and filters and things situated on TikTok that I can do it, because then I can actually still control TikTok. That's why but if TikTok ends up getting owned by Oracle, literally, I will end up leaving TikTok. If TikTok gets taken over, and for what it's worth, you guys won't be seeing me talk about anything on TikTok except for just getting you guys to get off that platform. Maybe doing a little game filter there and getting off that platform, getting you guys off of it. If that happens. Right now it's not. Right now I'm going to stay on this platform until I can figure things out, but at least until the government does not, until that happens. When Oracle gets bought by TikTok, then I won't. Then I'll stay off of it. But until then, it's the same thing. It's like why did I stop on watching Twitch? I only on there for Twitch on one person now. I give up watching Twitch because of for that same reason is because I don't want to basically lose my right to speak my own mind. I don't want to be forced into basically I'm trying to think of the reason why I truly left. You know, but I truly left because of the policies that they switched and started changing and shifting over. You know, that's the reason why I left Twitch, was because of policy change. And the ad placements and things. Like, I don't mind ads. Like, I don't mind having ads. I just wish that you know, that if I'm gonna have an ad, you know, that I can control that. And that's the same thing here on YouTube. It's like, I want to be able to have that full control. I don't want to have ads coming in on in the middle of a stream, or in the middle of something, because YouTube's being a dick about it. You know, YouTube's ad thing is like, I want to be able to set it up where I want it to be set up, and it does not, and it's not great. You know, I want to be able to control it myself. I want to be able to do it, not them. Like, you know, where, you know, if for somebody who, you know, I would put my ad in like, if I had a sponsored ad, I'd put my ad before I put my sponsored ad, and then if people wanted, you know, and then, or things like that, where it's an actual, right after the sponsored ad, because that's where I would like to put it, so that people get double the ad placement, but they know that they're not. They're not gonna get in problem. Like, I want to be able to have that control. I want to be able to speak my own mind without being criticized. I don't want to be like I'm somebody that, you know, you take your speech and you look at me. It's like, yeah, the only thing that I have that you can get yourself an immediate ban is anti-LGBTQ. It's the only one that'll get you an immediate ban effectively. because I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to deal with the nonsense. You can continue to speak, but then I will ban you. You'll get an immediate ban if you consistently do it. It's like I was almost ready to ban somebody the other day for it. Because I'm not going to sit here and talk about it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you everything and tell you that you have to do this, but I'm not going to go out there and fully completely do it because sometimes it's very difficult, and it's like I might just start leaving TikTok because of this nonsense, and I'm slowly thinking about doing it. You know, like this will probably be the last TikTok today. Maybe not. Maybe I will continue to keep doing it. I don't know. I have literally, like, I put my eggs in one basket, but I'm not. I'm gonna tell you, like, I am somebody that uses Facebook. I used Facebook at one point, then I left Facebook because I'm like, I'm not gonna be on Facebook. I hate Facebook. I literally, there's only like a handful of platforms that I use. I got off of X, I'm on Blue Sky now. With that, you know, not only did I get off to Blue Sky from X, I literally won't go on to Truth Social. I won't go on to sit on Truth Social and actually be on Truth Social. I won't. That's the one platform that you speak your ill of your mind against something, they'll ban you immediately. Thanks Pizza for joining. You know, that's why I don't look at content and... Did I? I know we were coming from this way. Did I miss? No, we did that one. I feel like I might have missed something along the way. Yeah, I missed it right there. It's okay. You know, but I absolutely am somebody that will sit here and tell you I am not going out there to go out and push a lot of the agenda on people. Okay, I don't go out there and actively come over here to photo mode. I wanted... Yeah. Nope. I hate that. Seriously. That I shouldn't, but it's like hard for me to steer. And I'm like, And I'm gonna say, you know, you can have your freedom to speak, and I don't care. You can speak however you want, but when it starts going after somebody to harm somebody, to destroy somebody's life, that's when you should really think about it. Really think about what you said. Literally, literally. Literally, JD Vance has literally said to go after, to dox people. And they take it as literally like scripture. They literally go out and say, go and do this. I just wanted to see if I can go that way. Where they believe in all of this. They believe that you can have this content and believe that what you're doing is right, and what they're doing is right because their leader says to do it is the right thing. And it's like, but are you really listening to God? I've had, like, I'm telling you that I had somebody at work who thought that she was a Christian, and she's not a Christian. That I had somebody that was not a Christian, that wasn't a genuine Christian. Because because I will always ask this simple and easy question. I always ask this. I always will say, do you follow God? Do you follow Jesus Christ? Now, if God came and asked you to stop doing what you're doing and follow me, stop what you were doing, stop the nonsense. If God told you to stop following Donald Trump, would you stop following Donald Trump? And they would all say, oh no, they would. I would, pretty sure that these people would say no, because that's only my God wouldn't say that. Okay, but what about the God, the only one? What would you do? And they would still say no, it's just my God. It's my God. It's like you can't. I hate driving this road. Ugh. This is a really windy road. But it's like you want to be able to like say what you want. Like, I don't care. But if you come in and you start talking about my God's only this, my God's only that, and it's like you don't get the big picture. There's only one God. There's only one Jesus Christ. And these people think that oh, it's only my God, it's my God, but in reality there's only one. Every religion has belief in God in a different way, but but that God is the same God that everybody has, that everybody believes differently on it. It's the same person. And I don't get into religion very often. I do starting to get into religion a little bit lately, but that's the one thing I always ask these people who are, when you go and ask these MAGA people, ask them the question: are they, if God told you to give up what you were doing now to stop following Donald Trump, would you do it? And if they sell you that, oh, it's only my God, it's only my God says I can follow him, he's good, he's a good person, when it's my God, not the God. So you got to ask yourself these questions. When you ask MAGA people and ask them the question, are they really a Christian, when they say, to get rid of a freedom of speech? Are they a real Christian when they come in and start taking away your rights? Are they a real Christian when the next door neighbor is gay? And you have to ask yourself, if your next door neighbor is gay, then would you be willing to help them? If a natural disaster came and just hurt their home, got rid of their home but not yours, would you be willing to help them? Would you be willing to take care of their home and their place? And if you said no, you're not a Christian. You're not a Christian if you decide to not help somebody. Doesn't matter who it is. They could be the most evilest person, but because they lost something next door, because their home was destroyed, and you said, I'm not going to help them, there might be a point into this where I wouldn't help somebody because of that. I wouldn't help a rich person, like, who's ultra wealthy, ultra rich. I wouldn't help them because they already have the money that they need to survive. But if it was my neighbor and they were like that, yeah, I'd still help them. But if there's somebody out there that they lost a yacht and they're like Elon Musk, then I wouldn't help them. Okay? I wouldn't help them because they don't need the help. They have the money, they have the wealth, they can manage to get over it. Donald Trump, I'm not going to give Donald Trump money because Donald Trump is ultra wealthy. Because Donald Trump is so wealthy that he's not even somebody that needs it. If he's able to build a $200 million thing, then why should I give him the money when he's all spending my money already? He's already spending my taxpayer money on this $200 million ballroom. Why help him? Why spend the money on him? I'm not going to sit there and give money off to him and do that. I'm somebody that's going to be willing to that I'm going to be somebody that's going to be willing to listen and willing to listen to what you have to say. But if it's going to start becoming to the point of that you're going to tell me that it's all because George Soros is this and George Soros that, it's like, I don't care who is it funded by. They're wanting to get rid of George Soros, they're wanting to get rid of these things because they don't like people that outclass them. They don't like people that decide to hurt their life because they are so fragile. It's like, look, I'm not going to go out and stop somebody for putting up a video on a lot of things. You know, I'm not somebody that's going to go out there and I'm not going to be somebody that's going to go out there and take away your right to watch a video on YouTube that I deem wrong. Okay? Like, if it does not break the TOS of YouTube, I'm going to say fine. If it does not break the TOS of TikTok, fine. Okay? If it does not break the TOS of Trovo, I'm not going to go and remove it. There's one thing that I will not remove, and it's great, and these people are breaking TOS all the time. By listening to music from, you know, music that's not suited for it. TikTok, on the other hand, is allowing it, but that's only because they allow it. But Trovo, on the other hand, does not. But it's like, I'm not going after them because it's like, what? Just for listening to a song? I'm like, that's ridiculous. Okay, even though it's breaking the TOS of Trovo, I'm not going to go after people like that. I'm not, because I do it too, and it's like, there's not very many times that I will break a rule of a platform. I'm sitting here talking politics on Trovo when I shouldn't be talking politics here on Trovo. You know, they don't want me talking about it, but I'm like, what am I supposed to do? What can I like, okay, I'm not going to live stream on Trovo, what do you do? You know, these platforms have some rules that you have to follow and make sure that you're being more prone to it. It's like the other day, it's like I got rid of Glass for using the F-bomb like 3 or 4 times, deleting his messages 3 or 4 times. It's like I was almost ready to ban him for 10 minutes. I got rid of his mod chip on here on Trovo. On Trovo because he was not really wanting to follow the rules. And I'm not going to give him mod chip anymore. Because the thing is if you Like, if you're gonna be drunk and you're gonna come into a stream, I'm sorry, I'm not. That's why most of the time I don't go out and play in the afternoons with glass, or play in the afternoons on things, because because of YouTube. You when you're drunk, like, this is the whole reason when I look at people and say that these people don't want to, like Ted Cruz didn't want to get rid of yeah, I know I hit the thing. Okay. That was my own personal fault. I was not paying attention to that. The other one is like, I'm turning and I'm like, I'm wanting to get the image, and then I couldn't get it. But yeah, like that one, like me just trying to really look at chat sometimes, and I'm gotta pay attention to the road sometimes. But it's like they don't care about the appropriateness of the, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, alcohol. Basically, I don't like it when people come in and drink alcohol or have alcoholic things, because the thing is alcohol can ruin your mental thought. Alcohol can ruin your mental state and destroy your life. Liver poison. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with alcohol. And one of the things that basically I would go up there and tell Ted Cruz, because he was the one that said that. It's like, I would ask Ted Cruz. I said, okay, then you're crybaby about it when somebody does not want. Like, I would ask him. I said, okay, then I will take away your alcohol then as well. I will get rid of your alcohol because you're the one. Because you're saying, oh well, I shouldn't shouldn't take away my alcohol because it's my right. Then don't take away somebody's free speech. Then don't take away that. If you don't like your rights being taken away, then don't take away other people's rights. That's the whole point. It's like, I don't go out and get rid of people's guns because I don't like guns. I don't go out, and this is just a hypothetical. I don't mind guns. I will tell you, I'm not somebody that's going against guns. There's just some parts of these guns that I do wish that we did not have. But I will tell you, like, I don't care if you have an AR. I don't care if you have these things. I just don't want a silencer. Silencer is the only thing in this whole entire thing that I don't agree with. Having a military, having a silencer, fine, but having a silencer in the public hands, no. A silencer should not be in the public hands, and that's a whole other can of worms. I'm not going to get into that one. I already talked about it in yesterday's stream. If you want to go check that out, you can. For it, but did I make a mistake? No. We are going. Okay, so we're getting there. But I will tell you, like, I am somebody, that, like, I'm not somebody that's going to take away a lot of people's freedoms. I'm not somebody that wants to get rid of an abortion, because I don't care. It's like, I don't agree with it, but that doesn't mean I should get rid of it, because it's somebody's way of life and way of thinking. I'm not going to go out and get rid of that person's way of speech because I don't like what they have to say, but that I just don't go and watch that platform. It's like, I don't go and sit and watch, I don't like TY. I stopped listening to the Young Turks. I stopped listening to them because I didn't like what they had to say. I stopped listening to two portions of commentators and people like that. I stopped listening to it because I'm somebody that does not, that's like, If I don't like your content, I'm not gonna sit and watch it. It's not my place to go out and remove your content because I don't like it. The only time I will is if you break the TOS and you consistently break the TOS, then okay, then it's time for me to rethink then it's time for me to report you. But that's the only time I go after people, is when they break the platform's TOS. And that's the only time. You know? And it's like those are the things that I do. I don't go after people for coming after me. I might, but you know, if they don't get the facts right, if they don't get the things straight, I don't jump to conclusions and jump right away and oh, this is it, when I don't know the facts. I don't rush to conclusions until I find out the facts. This is why when I talk about the breaking news or talk about Jimmy Kimmel, like last night I rushed a little bit and say what Jimmy Kimmel's getting banned for what? And I'm like, and I had to really listen, and I had to really pay attention. I listened to even more today just to make sure. And guess what? Jimmy Kimmel shouldn't have been fired for what he did. And these people, you know, I am somebody that I would rather sit down and listen to Netflix now these days than listen to Paramount. I'd rather sit down and watch Netflix, because guess what Netflix is doing? Netflix is allowing that they got rid of, you know, they are getting rid of Sesame Street off of PBS. Netflix, like they want to remove PBS. Guess what? Netflix is taking that initiative to actually put Sesame Street on their platform. And I am absolutely fantastic for what Netflix is doing with it. For Netflix for standing up. You know, if Netflix basically came out and said we're going to start putting Jimmy Kimmel Live on our platform. We're going to start putting Stephen Colbert. We're going to, like, if Netflix did that and said we will continue to platform this person and we'll continue to do it, that would give me more opportunity to even more support Netflix. You know, and have that. You know, if Midas Touch started getting made Stephen Colbert part of that, I would watch it a little bit more often. Now I am still the only thing that late night talk show host that I subscribe to is Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert is one of the best late night talk show hosts that I have had listened to in like forever. Like I listen to David Letterman. Okay, I'll tell you, I am that old enough to know that David Letterman was on TV. I'm that old because I know. No, I liked watching David Letterman. I liked watching the late night show with Stephen Colbert too, and David Letterman. Those were I loved it. And now they're taking away that at all because they are going out there to criticize because they did something criticizing Trump or criticizing somebody because they don't like what they said. This is why I don't want CBS. This is why I still have CBS on my watch list for anything important, but I don't really go sit and actively watch CBS anymore. The only time I watch Paramount, but I've kind of thinking about even not really watching Paramount anymore. Kind of giving up on Paramount, kind of dropping Paramount because of the things that they're doing. But I'm not going to because I have my local news is on there, and so I can't really get rid of that. I can't get rid of that because I want to be able to watch there's only like there's a lot of shows on there, but the only one I'd sit and watch is Amazing Race, and even then, this is really tight knit right here. Where are we at? Oh, very very tight here over here. Ugh. I wanted to see something here. I wanted to see what this said. Guess that must be a hotel. Okay. Twizzles. So that sounded like more like a restaurant than a store, but I guess it's fine. I just like to see what they've got around here sometimes too. But interesting. Paint shop. A market. Vintage taste. Vintage taste. Basically, a little restaurant, and then we got turmoil. Interesting. We're still in Greece, right? Um, Czech, Slovakia, Poland, Hungary, Germany, Switzerland, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, okay, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Lithuania. Alright, there's our Turkey, Montenegro, Albania, Serbia, Kosovo, North Macedonia, Greece. Oh yeah, so we are still in Greece. If I'm not mistaken, I think we're still in Greece. Which map does not tell me per se. Albania. We're in Albania. We're in Albania. Okay. Interesting. Thanks, Seattle. Thanks, Scotty Pagan. Thanks, Scotty Pagan, for joining the TikTok live. Fudge. Fudge. Yeah, it's all green. I don't know why. Okay. Alright, we better grab this while we're here. Media. Photo mode. There we go. I do this a lot. Where you'd think I'd be... I cannot see the little hanging thing. They need to make it bigger. I would love that if they could make it a lot bigger. Just bigger in height. Just you know. Or maybe I can find a thing where it just allows replace that texture. Just to make it bigger. In width. Or put flashing lights on those things. But we'll see. Yeah, this time I'm not gonna get hit. Ugh. Let's hope we don't get another one of those. Yeah, I don't get it. Traffic. Yeah, I would put maybe like a light thing on it, like a little light strip on those things. It would make it so much easier to have like a little bit of flashing light at it, so that you can. And they should really have a limit in these areas. I cannot pronounce your name over here, but thank you for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching on the YouTube. Remember, if you guys are enjoying yourselves, make sure you guys hit that follow. I'm here on Trovo and TikTok. It's free to do so. You can also subscribe on Trovo, but it is not free to subscribe on Trovo. Because what you do is when you subscribe on Trovo, you do get cute cat emotes, and not only cat emotes, you which one do we go to? Hold on, I have to check. We go to Barley, not the. Okay, so we go to Barley. All right. I just wanted to make sure we embark on the right journey. Thanks EJX for joining. Remember, the 2-hour trip time to get there, and this remains at nothing. We're gonna be late with this one, sadly. I don't get it. Oops. Yeah. We're gonna go to services. Service recommended. But then I'm gonna take what? Anything above a 5%? Anything above 5% I take. This is why you never look, this is why you look at your type time and see when this thing's job's done. I did not pay attention to that. We're gonna fail this one. I don't know how much we're gonna fail this, but this is gonna be the only trip I do today, so it's gonna be one of those things that, yeah. This is why I'm speeding, because we got an hour and 25 minutes. Hopefully it's not going to be like too much. I'm pretty sure in real life, if you are coming in and you're picking up a job and you're taking it to someplace, I'm pretty sure just because you're late because of traffic or you're late because of an accident, you're gonna be, or you have a specific time, you're gonna be really, they're gonna take a look at it and said, this is the itinerary, this is the path that I'm gonna probably take. And get there, they're not gonna complain too much. But in a game like this, I wanted to know because we can always check. We can always go back and check, but I'm not gonna stop doing the job. Currently we can just go back and double check to see, oh, is this job the one that we should be taking? Would I be able to finish it in time? Did I need to rest before I started this job? And if I needed to rest before I started this job, I shouldn't have started it. That's what I want to make sure. I got a man truck dealership. But thanks, Mallow Great Glazer, for joining the TikTok live thing. Thank you. I don't want to get any damage going uphill, but... But this is ridiculous. Like, I didn't realize that this would be... Like, why am I receiving this? I should have really... I hate when I miss a job like this, or I miss something just because I don't... But, anyway. for a lot of people, like, technology, like, I absolutely marvel at the technology of AI sometimes, but then I'm also scared of it. And, you know, the other day I used AI because I went and didn't know something about Zoom. I just went and looked up AI. And did I miss my turn again? Of course I did. Right there. Right there at OX Exomar. So I want to get as much XP as I can out of this. And not be so lazy. What did we receive? Hold on, I wanted to see those results real quick. Really was really late with this. That one was a horrible run. Oh, dumb. Me, dummy, dummy, dummy. But we can go to services. Let's go to our used truck market. We have the Iveco S-Way. There. Let me go look at all. We have the MAN TCG Euro 5 on there. We have the Mega Space for the old one. But then we start getting into more expensive vehicles. Those are the only. This one's the only one that has a 3-star condition, and this one here. And I don't want to buy them right now because I don't want. Like, I need to figure something else out. But we are going to take ourselves and go get some rest. I am going to do a couple of things. I'm gonna go get something to eat. Do we got a rest area? I wanna go down this way. So we're gonna go and try to go and get some. See if we can get a little bit of some repairs. Add a couple of things into my truck. Because I always like to get this thing out as much as I can. For the outer edge on the highway. We only have 3 stops. We only have 3 garages, and only 3 garages in places. Our garages are pretty much in. Since we are not on the latest update, guys, we're not on 1.56. But there's a reason for it. I'm waiting for ProMods 1.56, the latest update for that to fit 1.56. Actually, we can just go straight forward and then rotate around. So we're not on the latest one, but we are getting up to that point of that, because I like to use pro mods, and I'm not gonna sacrifice my pro mods. I was gonna do American truck today, ended up doing Euro truck for that reason, and then and I had a plan, so I just went for it. And then we also had Parkitect update, and I was gonna think about doing that too, and then I was like, you know what, I want to talk about freedom of speech that I talked about earlier in the stream. I'm not gonna go and repeat myself again on it, but I am somebody that just does not agree with removing of someone's free speech when it does not take or hurt somebody's own life. If it does not take somebody's own life, it does not physically turn out to harm people, then I don't care. But what happened with what they're doing and in the administration, they're not doing great either, so I'm not going to get into it. You guys can go back and watch the earlier parts of this stream if you want to. Okay, so we're confirmed there. I want to go to truck configurator because there's a couple of things on this truck that I wanted to do. Is upgrade to a tag lift. Okay. Upgrade to a tag lift. And then, and that's at level 26 for it. Hey. We got the stock thing there. Anything... maybe not. I wanted to... Got the Viking. I think I wanna... I don't... Yeah, I wanna... what am I using... Hold on, what am I using for this? I'm using just a stock. We got... the samurai. So if we got samurai, we're using samurai there. We also have samurai there, but I don't... you know what? I might just cancel that out for now. And then we go, I like the light chrome 5. For it. And then we come up here. Let's get our lumen marks. Ones. I always like the ones, I don't like the twos. Anything else is just gonna stay default pretty much. We'll upgrade you now to paint modern. Other than that, nothing's gonna get... Like, I would like to put this... Like to put, like, something down here. But I think we will just deal with what we've got. And we got the EVGA. We've got a... We got the EVGA in white. The 3-spoke. We got a 4-spoke in EVGA. Spoke Pearl does not have any anything there. I don't put anything there, because there's nothing for it. Nothing in there either to fill in. I'm just gonna change the wheel on our truck now because we have the funds, and we'll confirm our order. Because I wish they would bring in the American wheel like they do with the American trucks. They bring in some of those customizable wheels in and I wish you could like pull into those garages instead of just we'll get some rest. We'll get most of this money back by just me resting 3 times. I always do the resting of 3 times because that gives me. For the company, they let everybody else, and I just get it going for it. Let me go to services. Use trucks just to check. I should have done that first. But it's still the Iveco S-Way, so even if I did it, it wouldn't change anything. Alright. I'm going to save this, guys. I'm going to take like 15 minutes. I might not even take 15 minutes. I will be back. I'm going to call this live 9/18/2025. I spelled live wrong, of course. But I will be back in about 15 minutes. I'm going to go get something to eat. You guys should probably too. You guys should get up and take a break. I do that. That's where I'm going to do that. And then I will get back in. We'll do another haul until 8 o'clock. Not until 9 o'clock my time. And then we'll hop in and we'll play some, maybe we'll play some Marvel Rivals here on with Lennox. Here on Trovo and TikTok. YouTube, you will not see this. You'll probably not even see the rest of the this because I might not even get back right away. But if you want to see content, it's always great to be subscribed here on YouTube. Subscribing is free on YouTube. Make sure you hit that bell notification with the all because you won't get updated if you don't. And even then, you just still won't get updated for everything. But I'm always live pretty much about 3-4 o'clock until pretty much about 5:36. But tomorrow, Friday is today. No, today's Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, will be I will be live. Not at normal time though. Live at the end of normal time. I'll be alive until probably 6:37, 8 o'clock, 9, depends, whatever I feel like. For these next few days. Saturday I won't be live unless Barnacules from Tech Talk. For Tech Talk is not live. But you guys can also watch my live streams at night. At 9 till 2 a.m. over on TikTok and Trovo exclusively. You guys can watch in the afternoons as well. But you guys can hit that follow on both of these platforms. It is great to do so. And we will catch you guys later.